Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Web Healing Show. Today, I'm going to offer you to share the platform with me and come online in case you need a healing related to today's topic. And the topic for today is how to bounce back after a severe emotional hurt. Well, we are like those vehicles in body, and we're traveling together. And it is but natural that at times we do cross each other's path in a wrong way. We rub each other in a wrong way, physically, emotionally, energetically. And we do often feel hurt very often, very, very often, right? And some people recover much faster and some people take a long time. I have a friend in Ahmedabad who was born and brought up in a riot prone area. And when he attended some of my webinars and workshops and live trainings, he observed that people are still so raw about things that happened somewhere in childhood, in young age, in their teenage, and they're still crying, they're still grieving, they're still angry about what has happened in the past. These are, after all, these emotional traumas. He has witnessed so much of violence, so much of massacre. He said, there's no guarantee that you've stepped out of on the street and you'll go back home live because you never know which bullet will come from where. People used to store petrol and all those violent stuff in the house just to attack each other. And there's so much of uncertainties of life. He said, I've seen people losing their limbs and eyes and nose and my ears, and it's been a terrible time to watch that violence. However, what I feel is the body heals faster than the emotions. So if there is an injury on the body, at least you're sure that it will heal. It may leave a little bit of scarring, but it will heal. The emotional wounds keep festering. And you know why? Because there is no way we can demonstrate this emotional wound easily to people because of the social circumstances and conditionings. Men are ridiculed if they ever weep even a bit in public, and women are reprimanded if they show their anger. At least in India, that happens pretty often. Most parents, they don't want their girl child to get angry and demonstrate their anger. Well, they could be very proud of their son's anger outburst, vice versa. It's not really kind of recommended that a guy shows or a man shows emotions. And in fact, right from childhood, if a boy cries even a bit, he's reminded that you're a man and you're not supposed to be crying. And the suppression begins there. So what we do is we keep putting things under the carpet. And we keep dumping so much we dump that eventually the carpet starts showing heaps. So you see various heaps everywhere. I'm talking about the metaphor. And that happens to us because we push things deep under the subconscious mind. But we have those heaps on, which are like those buttons. You know, they say, my buttons were pressed. Your loved ones know exactly which buttons to press when to get a particular set of emotions and reactions. And then you wonder what happened. It was such a trivial thing. And why an anger outburst, or why such crying spell over it, or why so much of irritation, and why screaming, and why unnatural responses? Actually, you're not responding to what is happening in the now as much as you're responding to what had happened in the past. Every fresh wound reminds you of unhealed wound. If you already have an unhealed wound, and if somebody even gently touches, you're going to scream and shout because it's unhealed. But that's about the physical wound, which heals much faster and which is very visible. Emotional wounds are not really visible to regular, normal people. We often mask it under the smiling face. We often laugh it aloud and don't even show it to others. Nobody knows that you're hurting. And unknowingly, they rub you. Unknowingly, they touch you. Unknowingly, they trigger you. And the responses can surprise you as well as them. So it is very important to heal your emotional trauma periodically and regularly, both. Periodically, to look back into the past and complete all those unhealed traumas so that nobody get a chance to trigger you or press your buttons. If you heal them systematically, then it is like healed physical wound. You won't get upset over the trivial stories, and nobody will be able to elicit unhealthy response from you. Besides, you do not go through emotional ups and downs day in and day out. Why regularly? Because even after you've completed your healing work and healed almost all the traumas of the past, there is no guarantee that you do not get affected on day-to-day basis. Most of the time we get hurt because we have expectations, and when we expect people, people are not necessarily there to comply with you. They're not there to make sure that they behave as per your expectations, or they do as per your expectations, or they perform as per their expectations. And when they don't, you get upset, you get hurt. Now, what are those expectations? There can be many. There are some set expectations, there are some unset expectations. Just because you agree upon certain behavioral norms, you expect others to agree upon the same. Most of the time, others don't even know that that's what you're expecting. It could be as simple as somebody forgetting to tell you thank you, or somebody sending you a birthday wish, or not sending you a birthday wish. Or it could be such trivial things at times, which becomes a big story because there's an underlying current. Nobody knows. How many of us really set our expectations really straight? Do we meet a person and do we always say that I expect this from you, and this is what you're going to do, and this is what you're not going to do, and over and above, I expect you to kind of comply with my expectations? We don't do that most of the time, right? We presume that people are supposed to be adhering to your expectations, come what may, and that doesn't happen. It doesn't happen, especially when you're sharing a house, a room, a kitchen. There are so many expectations which are unmet. And there are so many stories which can unfold day in and day out, and hurts begin. These are simple, trivial hurts. Yet, when they accumulate, the cumulative effect is very severe for many people. And most of the time, what's happening is actually going back to the childhood or young age, which you don't even realize. A girl who's been rejected several times by mother, by father, by society members, by uncles, aunts, friends, gets married and comes home and doesn't see a smile on one of the in-laws' face. And that's it. Enough for her to feel rejected. And it appears so trivial. They may not even know, because it's their style not to really be so overwhelmingly welcoming, because she's now a family member. What's there to welcome? It's okay. Yet, there's so much of unhealed story related to being rejected that is so simple. Lack of smile can be a rejection for that girl. I'm talking about the real case of genuinely educated urban woman who's a PhD holder and crying bitterly in my clinic, describing that I went home and she didn't even smile at me. It's so terrible. It's just that I had to remind her that she's not the first one to reject you. Have you healed earlier rejections? And for sure, she hasn't. And there's no guarantee that there won't be further rejections, because every rejection is there to remind you that you have left it unhealed. You better heal that. And this is not just a story of rejection, it's a story of many such unhealed emotions. Why should we really have it healed? I already explained that you don't have emotional ups and downs. You also don't have unexpected outbursts. Sometimes we suppress all those emotions like soda water bottle, and you don't express. You don't let people know because it's ugly. You don't want to create ugly scenes. And that's why you bottle it up. However, there comes one such trigger where the lid opens, the cap opens, and the effect is like carbonated water overflowing and spraying all over. Everybody will be alarmed. What happened? It was such a simple, small trigger, but nobody could see the bottling that an individual was going through. That's how you normally um, bottle it up if the expressions are not really pleasant. But what you don't realize is what your resistance to persist. So if you don't express, it's going to happen one fine day. Might as well do it in a better and a decent way. Another reason why you should do it is to have clarity of mind. If you are emotionally overloaded, it's very difficult to think clearly. You'll always have emotional charge that will not let you have the clarity of mind or clarity in your thought. You will also have difficulty in having your focus and concentration. You'll not be able to focus very easily if you have unhealed emotions. Okay. Next, why you should do it is your better memory. If you're emotionally charged, you will forget what is important for you. So memory also could be fine, but the recall can really get affected. So recall is very important, and you can easily recall when you're chilled out and stress-free. When you get stressed out with emotions, the recall definitely gets affected. That's true during the exams, and that's true during interviews and public performance. You could be very well prepared. You know everything in and out. You are aware of the data. You are aware of what you're going to speak or what you're going to write. And yet, when the moment comes, you forget because you're overwhelmed with the emotions which are yet unhealed and unsorted. It's not because of the public anxiety, the concern and worry about the rejections, about people's expectations, they feeling let down, or what will they say. Stuff like that starts coming and overcloud your subconscious mind. And everything that is there in your subconscious mind cannot even come to your conscious awareness. There's something called filter mind. You'll know about filter mind much more in details in my book, Radical Crystalline Mind. Once you learn that, you will understand that how the whole bridge between the conscious mind and the subconscious mind collapses. And that's how we may not be able to recall very easily. Not only that, too many emotions does not let you have connectivity to your higher consciousness. Your higher consciousness is like that GPS, which has got solution, guidance, and all the direction that you would ever need. And it's all there. It's your personalized GPS, and you will get specific answers that's just right for you, provided you remain connected. But when you have tremendous emotional charge, you don't get that easily. A lot of psychics, they ask me that I get intuitive answers for a lot of people around, but why can't I get it when it comes to me or people around you? One of the reasons is that when it comes to you, you have emotional charge. And when you have emotional charge, the bridge collapses between the conscious mind and the subconscious mind. There is overcrowding and the connectivity is lost. So you do not get right intuition. And besides, a lot of information that comes is pretty contaminated because it comes through the cluttered, filtered mind. How do you clear this flooded filter mind? Is just work with your emotions one at a time. So the moment you reduce the cluttering, the filter mind clears up, and the exchange of information between the conscious and the subconscious mind eases out. And as a result, you have a better recall even during the stressful situation. Most of the time, if you start healing yourself regularly with radical, you don't even have too much of stress. And the recall is by and large pretty good, unless in that moment you have something else going on. All right. So that's another reason. So obviously, that explains that for your spiritual growth and spiritual development, it is important that you keep your filter mind clear, your emotions sorted, and the storage in the subconscious mind completely sorted so that you have uninterrupted connectivity with your subconscious mind as well as superconscious mind. It sounds pretty technical, jargonish, but trust, all you need to do is reduce the level of emotional charge. Does that mean that you become a kind of a dead zombie without any feelings, without any emotions, without any anger, without any fear? No, you will have. However, the expression would be much more refined. You can still feel sometimes angry, sometimes afraid. These are basic emotions we are gifted with. Make the best out of it. But let you be in charge of your emotions and not let your emotions control you. That would be the difference. You would be in total allowance of some of the feelings and total acknowledgement. You would cherish some of the emotions and in a very, very refined way, in such a beautiful way. Apart from disturbing emotions, there are so many beautiful emotions that they are waiting for you. How about just opening up to them? You're so at times overclouded with uneasy, unhealthy emotions that you miss out on enjoying refined emotions like love, joy, happiness, bliss, serenity. There's so much to life to enjoy. It's like if your plate is full of unhealthy food, I'm not talking about just junk food, but something that you don't even enjoy, but there's no choice but to have it. In that, there's one sweet dish that you cherish, but it's somewhere all mixed up and muddled up. Now you don't even enjoy that sweet so much because it's all mixed up. When you clear up your plate, now you can choose what you want to do, what you want to enjoy. You have full choice. Be that person who has a choice over their feelings and emotions. And if you want to do that, you need to heal your hurts regularly, periodically, and practically daily. And when that happens, you will have amazingly beautiful connectivity with your subconscious mind and superconscious mind. Now, the question is, how do you do that? Of course, there are a few techniques which are prevalent and very helpful. I would propose Soul's Love as well as R5. These are the simplest ones I have come across so far. And a lot of my colleagues, students, and clients, they enjoy it. Besides, it's something that you can learn immediately. So instead of pushing your feelings under the carpet, now you're going to address them. The first step would be either reviving if it is an old story or recognizing if it is a fresh story. Even if it is old story or fresh story, sometimes it straight goes into the deeper layers of subconscious mind Maybe it goes into the archive section sometimes. So you need to first revive and then recognize it, then realign it, reorient it, and reposition it. Now, how does this work? I'm not getting into the details over here. That's taught in the workshops and webinars, or it's also given in Radical Crystalline Mind book. You just need to use this short form, and that is R5. Even if you do not understand what do these words mean to you, they will work for you, at least for the beginnings, right? So I'm also putting this link over here in case anybody would like to come forward for a short demo. Um, and let me see. Okay, you can click this link and join me if you wish to. All right. So some of the statements that can help you heal your hurts are as follows. Before I say the statements, I wanted to tell you the solutions are much simpler than the problems that we created. So we believe that life is easy, life is simple, and life is effortless. If anything gets complicated, it's not very natural for you. All natural stuff are easy, effortless, simple, beautiful. Same way, the statements with soul's love. Today, I'm going to tell you some of the soul's love statements that will help you a lot. Okay. They are, the beginning will happen with my hurts are my soul's love. You can recite with me. My hurts are my soul's love. My need for hurts is my soul's love. My reasons for hurt is my soul's love. My resistance to let go of the hurts is my soul's love. My after effects of the hurt is my soul's love. My attachment to the hurt is my soul's love. My fear of letting go of the hurt is my soul's love. My association of hurts with the growth is my soul's love. My inability to heal my hurts is my soul's love. My need to heal my old hurts is my soul's love. My resistance to heal my old hurts is my soul's love. Keep repeating all the statements 7 times each. And as you do it over 21 days to 3 months, you will find a major shift in your old hurts. And you will also reduce the number of hurts that you are getting, because it's not about what's happening now. It's unhealed past which keeps triggering you time and again. To prevent further hurts, you need to know few things. One is have your expectations right. Expect what others can give you or do for you. Secondly, make your expectations clear. Don't expect them to understand your expectations. They may or may not understand. Third, forgive them if they do not meet your expectations. Because when you get upset over unmet expectations, you're the one who's hurting more than them. So you're punishing yourself more than them. So forgive them and forgive yourself for not being able to make others comply with your expectations. So when you forgive, it becomes easier. Fourth, check your beliefs. If you have certain beliefs that people hurt, people do not comply, people overrule, people rebel, people reject, others will comply with your beliefs. Indirectly, they're actually fulfilling your expectations of not meeting your expectations, right? Because if you have a belief that people do not meet my expectations, sure, they won't. You're always right. And when people do that, know that probably some of your beliefs are unfolding in form of people's response towards you. So check and correct. Work with your guilt of not meeting others' expectations in the past. Maybe not meeting your parents' expectations, not meeting some of your friends' expectations, spouse, children. There could be so many expectations perhaps you haven't really worked with. Work with the guilt of not meeting your own expectations from yourself. Maybe you expected yourself to be different and you couldn't become that. So forgive yourself for that so that you start becoming easy on yourself. When you do not meet your own expectations from yourself, maybe people will not do that to you too. And we can't blame people for that, right? And that hurts. Okay. So forgive yourself, forgive others, address the guilt of not meeting expectations, and see what's your game like. What happens when people hurt and they don't meet your expectations? Do they make you a stronger person? Do they make you more powerful person? Do they make you more resilient person? Do they help you discover your strength? If all these are games that you play to discover the best in you, why would others anyway comply with you? So when they don't meet your expectations and hurt you, know that you're inviting that to get the best out of you. However, how about reassociating, reassociating your positive and brilliance or brilliant side or brilliant gift with the fulfillment of all your expectations? So catch your games, know how you are inviting certain situations in life, how others are complying to your beliefs, and understand your expectations. And the best part of it is understand people's expectations from you. And when you get over and get out of this game, understand the expectations of your higher consciousness from you. If you are fulfilling all the expectations at the soul level from your higher consciousness, the chances are minimum that others will hurt you. And that's my final message. Thank you so much for joining, and see you next Thursday, 6 p.m. sharp. Keep giving me suggestions, keep giving me feedback. That helps me design my next program. Lots of love. Thank you for joining. Bye-bye.